The United Kingdom has entered a state of political and constitutional vertigo. It is Sunday, January 18, 2026, and the headlines this morning aren't just news, they are the sounds of an old order breaking apart. From the Arctic Circle to the streets of London, and from the corridors of the High Court to the private chambers of Holyrood House, the power dynamics of Britain are being rewritten in real time. Today, we are witnessing a three-front war. First, trade war with our closest ally as Donald Trump targets the UK with devastating tariffs over a bizarre dispute involving Greenland. Second, a civil war on the British right that has seen the Conservative Party's most senior figures defect to Nigel Farage's Reform UK. And third, a royal family in a state of geographic avoidance as Prince Harry returns to London while the King retreats to Scotland. In the next 15 minutes, we are going deep. We have the details of Keir Starmer's secret Gaza Peace Board invitation, the truth behind the King's health milestone, and the fallout from the Peter Mandelson Epstein scandal. Before we dive into the data, if you want to stay ahead of the curve on the stories the mainstream media often overcomplicates, hit that subscribe button right now. We track the shifts in Westminster daily so you don't have to. Join our community of savvy viewers today. Let's start with the story that could bankrupt British industries by next month. At the start of 2026, the world laughed when President Trump revived the idea of the US purchasing Greenland from Denmark. No one is laughing today. Yesterday, the White House confirmed a 10% tariff on all British goods, rising to 25% by June, unless the UK supports the annexation of the Arctic territory. Why is Keir Starmer being targeted? Because the UK, alongside Denmark and Norway, has stepped up Arctic security patrols to block what the US calls Russian and Chinese encroachment. Starmer's response this morning was uncharacteristically blunt. He called the tariffs completely wrong and a violation of the NATO spirit. But here is the twist: behind the scenes, Starmer is walking a tightrope. Even as he fights Trump on trade, he has been invited to join the Trump administration's Gaza Peace Board. This is a high-level body designed to oversee the multi-billion-dollar reconstruction of the Gaza Strip. Critics in the Labour backbench are furious. They are asking, how can the Prime Minister join a Trump-led board while the President is actively trying to cripple the British economy with Greenland taxes? It's a geopolitical paradox that could define Starmer's premiership. We're seeing a Prime Minister who is trying to be a bridge between Europe and America, but the bridge is currently on fire. While the PM faces threats from abroad, the opposition is facing an extinction event at home. Thursday's defection of Robert Jenrick to Reform UK wasn't just a news story, it was a political earthquake. Jenrick, the former Shadow Justice Secretary, stood next to Nigel Farage and described his former party as rotten and failed. This follows the defection of Nadhim Zahawi just weeks ago. But it's the why that matters. Jenrick claims the Tory leadership under Kemi Badenoch has become an arsonist group, destroying the party's core values from within. The latest polling results for January 2026 are catastrophic for the establishment. Reform UK is now predicted to win a clear majority, while the Conservatives are plummeting to under 100 seats. If an election were held today, Nigel Farage would be walking into number 10 Downing Street. This is the kind of data that changes the course of a country. We're going to be tracking these seat projections as they evolve. If you're finding this analysis helpful, make sure you've liked the video and turned on notifications. It helps the algorithm show this news to more people who need to see it. Now, let's move to the palace. Tomorrow, London will host one of the most significant legal battles in recent history as Prince Harry arrives at the High Court. He is suing associated newspapers over alleged unlawful information gathering. But look at the geography of the royal family. As Harry lands in London, King Charles, Prince William, and Catherine are all heading to Scotland. Royal experts are calling this strategic distance. The King is reportedly terrified that any private conversation with his son will end up in a memoir or a Netflix special. Regarding the King's health, the palace has confirmed that treatment is being reduced this month as he reaches a major milestone in his recovery. This allows him to take on more duties in Edinburgh. However, the shadow of the past remains elsewhere in Westminster. Lord Peter Mandelson is facing a dramatic fall from grace. After first refusing to apologize for his association with Jeffrey Epstein on national television, Mandelson issued a sudden U-turn this week, offering a personal apology to the victims. But for many, it's too late. Sacked from his diplomatic post last September by Keir Starmer, the man once called the Prince of Darkness is finding that even his legendary spin can no longer save him. As we look ahead to tomorrow, the pressure cooker of Westminster is about to whistle. Parliament returns on Monday, and the agenda is packed. We have Home Office questions, where the government will be grilled on the rising influence of Reform UK and the fallout of the Jenrick defection. We also have the English devolution bill, which Health Secretary Wes Streeting is using to rewire the NHS. But the real eyes will be on the diplomatic cables. Will Starmer blink first in the Greenland trade war? Or will the UK find itself isolated between a protectionist America and a divided Europe? The events of this Sunday have shown us that the status quo is no longer an option. The Conservative Party is effectively a ghost, the Labour government is under siege from its own allies, and the monarchy is forced to play a game of hide-and-seek with its own members. We are living through history. If you want to understand the why behind the headlines, you need to be part of this channel. We don't just report the news, we connect the dots. Click the subscribe button right now and join the thousands of others who rely on us for their daily briefing. Hit the bell icon so you're the first to know when our next deep dive drops. And most importantly, I want to hear from you. Is Nigel Farage the next Prime Minister? And should Starmer support the Greenland deal to save our economy? Leave a comment below, I read every single one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.